This NFL Draft Grades edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. Bet $10 at WynnBet and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBet. Download the WynnBet app now or visit WynnBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Coors Light. Get mountain cold refreshment delivered straight to your door via Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/SGP. That's CoorsLight.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by PropSwap, America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Use promo code SGP on your first deposit to receive up to $500 in bonus cash. Head over to PropSwap.com or download the PropSwap app today. And make sure to download the SGPN app, your home for all of our free picks and podcasts. Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog.
Sean, when's the last time we were this excited? Collectively, when's the last time that our stocks were both this high? Are you kidding me?
Wow, what a draft.
The Giants win the
Giants do not win the draft, Ryan. The Giants had a very good draft. We'll get into who actually won the draft, a.k.a. the Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown and Jordan Davis, and we have 2 first-round picks next year. Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
We love you, Howie Roseman. I don't know if I've ever been on record saying anything negative about Howie Roseman. What a draft. I mean, if you want to see my reaction to the A.J. Brown trade, I was going nuts, as you would expect when you're trading for one of the best receivers, if not the best, at least top 3 in the league. Ryan, as a Giants fan, you got to be worried. You don't have A.J. Brown top 3.
He's a good player.
Name 3 better receivers than A.J. Brown.
Let's see. Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp.
No, come on.
What do you mean? No,
come on. All right, come on, Cooper. Oh, what are you building your franchise around a PPR guy? Come on. You're telling me A.J. Brown. Have you seen A.J. Brown? Well, I wish I had the dog soundboard because A.J. Brown is a dog.
A.J. Brown is a good receiver, big physical, able to get open. Will Jalen Hurts be able to get him the ball?
100%.
That remains the question.
100%.
And, if we're being honest, I think that's still the question. Do they have a quarterback? Can they get over? Is the abundance of targets useful for Jalen Hurts?
100%.
He's a running back at the quarterback position.
Right. Look, you're coming off.
We'll get to the grades, and we'll see how I feel about the Eagles.
Okay. We got a great show. We're going to hit you guys with our draft grades, going through all 32 teams, or at least the teams that had first-round picks, react to that. Then we're going to be joined by VP of Trading from WynnBet, Alan Berg himself.
Should have brought my jacket.
Yes. And then we got a cameo here from Dr. Fax of the Greenlight Pod and a special bonus guest at the end of the episode, jam-packed full of great content here. And, of course, if you're getting down on the NFL draft or the NBA playoffs, my Sixers also won, covered the -1.5 games.
Let's go.
NHL playoffs, MLB, NBA daily picks, whatever you're doing, you should be betting it over at WynnBet. Bet big, win bigger. Of course, get down on that. Bet $10, get $200 in free bets promotion. That's awesome. 100% deposit bonus on the WynnBet Casino. Yes, please. And the build your own bet feature. We are taping this, Ryan, on a Friday, which means $20 free bet when you win, lose, or push a 3-leg of build your own parlay between Thursday and Saturday. Again, download that Wynn betting app or just go to WynnBet.com. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough Wynn bets fail. If you someone is gaming for whatever do 4,700.
Nice. Strong finish, Sean. We're not actually analog, unfortunately. We are not on tape. Straight to digital.
Yep. All right, let's get to it. Let's start rattling off these draft grades. Kramer. Jags are on the clock.
Jags are on the clock. Look, a B-, basically. I think you can't really go much lower because I think we don't know if Trayvon Walker will be good. I'm more of a production guy. I get it. His graph is filled up in all different dimensions on the hexagon or whatever they use.
Yeah, Trayvon Walker, Devin Lloyd.
Both guys, I feel like the narrative to them being maybe less than you hope for is easy to understand. And the path to them reaching their potential requires good coaching, requires probably the right players around them. And I don't know if number one pick should change a defense. I don't know if he's going to he's not a Chase Young in my opinion, if we're going to use an analogy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a game changer. I do like the Devin Lloyd pick up at 27. We both have him graded as a B-. That feels about right. I still would have went offensive lineman for the Jags. You got to build around Trevor Lawrence. And I get their defense also sucks, so you're kind of in a rough spot there.
Yeah.
Lions, number 2. Of course, they got Aiden Hutchinson, Michigan defensive end, Jamison Williams. Williams was a nice pickup. I graded them a flat B. I like the Jamison Williams at 12. Hutchinson again. Certainly potential there for pass rusher. I still think though, where's your quarterback, Detroit? I still would have rolled the dice with Malik Willis and seen what you got there. I just don't.
Maybe
they end up with Malik in the second round, and this bumps their draft grade. But the fact that they left Malik Willis on the table, I'm only giving them a B.
See, I went A- here. I think Aiden Hutchinson, a large man.
Yes, we met Aiden Hutchinson.
Large man, seemed like a good kid, but also this is a perfect spot, right? Like now he comes in motivated, similar to Kenny Pickett. We'll talk about it later. He's staying in the same kind of general area. And then you have you spoke about Jamison Williams, like he could be the top wide receiver. So to get him as the 4th wide receiver.
Yeah, I like that.
I at least
to me, it's just they didn't get a quarterback.
They didn't get a quarterback yet. It doesn't seem like these guys are first-round guys, so we would be smashing them if they reached for him. So for them to get Aiden Hutchinson, probably the guy they didn't think they were going to get when they were exploring Thibodeau so deeply, and to get maybe the top wide receiver long-term, I mean, look, they have Amon St. Brown. I like what they're doing up here. Those football guys with their double vente espresso red eyes, Sean, I think they did well, so A-.
Texans, number 3, they get Derek Stingley Jr., Kenyon Green, offensive lineman. I saw a stat there. They haven't drafted an offensive player in the first round since, it's been a while. I think it was like 2006. I initially graded them a B, but I'm actually going to knock them down to a C+. I am really worried about Derek Stingley, the Liz Frank thing, the lack of production, except his freshman year. And that seems to be the issue is the cornerbacks drafted off potential instead of production, and 15 for an offensive guard, not great value. So I'm going C+.
I mean, in hindsight, they probably should have gone with the tackle with the first pick and grabbed the third. I think Stingley, high ceiling, a lot of risk. Like you said, a guard there? No. So I'll go B-. Slightly better, but B-.
Jets, they get Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson the second. A+.
A+.
How can you ask for anything more? They got the best cornerback in the draft, in my opinion. Wilson, ton of potential, and they got Jermaine Johnson at 26. There was rumors he was going to go like top 5, top 10. So great haul by the Jets.
You could argue they got their best cornerback, wide receiver, and pass rusher in the first round. Now, having 3 picks, it's kind of a cheat code, but A+.
Giants, of course, they get Kevon Thibodeau at 5, Evan Neal at 7. Again, I'm going to go B+.
What? Come on.
Didn't address the quarterback position, which is a massive need.
Stop it.
I mean, the Giants know it's a massive need. That's why they're not extending Daniel Jones.
No, there's a large audience outside listening to this, and you're blasphemous right now. They got
that entire crowd knows they don't have a quarterback.
Two of the top 5 players on the board, period. Some say the most versatile lineman, period. Played a bunch of positions, didn't miss any time. A very large man, humble, Sean. And then you have Kayvon Thibodeau already under the big outstretched wing of Michael Strahan. It's the most aroused I've been on the New York Giants. And I was aroused when they hired Shane and Daboll, but now Shane is executing like a spreadsheet god, Sean.
Well, now second-round pick, Ryan, do they go Malik Willis? According to the betting odds, they are in the mix for Malik Willis.
The beat writers who know are saying no.
So they're still not.
I think you're going to see I think you're going to see a cornerback here. I think you're going to see a year of Daniel Jones. And I think you're going to see it, if it doesn't work out, they'll pick the quarterback next year and have the linemen already set up, have the elite Hall of Fame gold jacket pass rusher already locked up. All right.
Panthers.
A+.
At number 6, got Ekwonu. I'm going A-. I think Ekwonu, best offensive lineman on the board. You get him at 6. Yeah. Just, they need offensive linemen. They need a ton. But, Ekwonu at 6. I thought you could make a case Jags should have taken them at 1. So
you
I
gave
feel
the
like
Panthers a better grade than the Giants.
Yeah.
Your grading system is ridiculous. I went B+ here, probably just splitting hairs. I like the pick, but they don't have enough picks, and they have not addressed the quarterback position, which is still Sam Darnold.
Charles Cross goes to the Seahawks at number 9.
You skipped Drake London.
Oh, sorry. Drake London goes to the Falcons at number 8. I gave this a C-.
What? It won us a ton of money.
Yeah, but I'm grading the pick, Ryan.
Oh my God.
I'm grading the pick. Drake London.
You love Tariq Cohen for 5 years because he won you $200K. You got to give Drake London a little bit of love here. Come on.
I'm not high on Drake London. I don't think he's going to be the best receiver in this class. And if I was the Falcons, again, they have so many other needs besides receiver. So C-. What'd you give him, Ron?
B+. I like the pick. I think they're going to be an interesting team next year. Marcus Mariota is the commitment.
Charles Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi State, goes 9 to the Seahawks. I gave it a C+ again. I don't know. The Seahawks are just a weird team. And
it's an air raid tackle.
Yeah.
Find me an example when it's worked.
No, and you saw it with Andre Dillard. I know he went up against SEC competition, but I still feel like it's a bit of a stretch.
Charles Cross is the Trayvon Walker of offensive line prospects this year.
Chris Olave and Trevor Penning both go to the Saints. I'm going, I almost went D on the Saints. I'm going C- because I factored in all the stuff that they gave up to get Olave and Penning. Like, Penning again, maybe a bit of a stretch at 19.
Why did they trade up with the Eagles?
I said that's really why I'm
what does
giving them
Howie
such
do in the offseason?
Someone said, I saw on social media, they tried to do the A.J. Brown trade in Madden, and Madden would not let it go through. Like they kept rejecting it. The fact that they got A.J. Brown for less than what what was traded for Hollywood Brown is still, I'm still wrapping my head around that.
Seems like the Saints are still paying for some sort of crime committed against the league because their trading makes no sense. I went C.
Yeah. And it's all of it is if they had these 2 picks coming in, fine. But what they traded and what they gave up was insane. Eagles at 13 have to trade up a little bit to get Jordan Davis. But again, they had to do that because the Ravens were going to take Jordan Davis and then also factor it in the A.J. Brown trade. Awesome trades all along. Your grading scale has to tap out at A+, Ryan, but I'm going A++.
Oh, wow.
Howie dominated the draft.
You called it out. It's a receiver that Howie didn't draft, and they used the first-round pick for it. They didn't have to give up the extra first round next year. I gave them an A. Look, it's a lot of money to invest in a guy who probably doesn't know anything about a cheesesteak.
Ryan has gone full court press on his A.J. Brown smear campaign on social media, and that's because I get it. You're nervous.
And a little bit nervous. He's a good corner. I kind of hope they keep Bradbury just to keep A.J. Brown in check. And I'm a little worried about Jordan Davis' ability to keep the weight off, Sean. He's an elite prospect if. There's a lot of ifs there, Sean. So good luck.
Yep.
He's no Fletcher Cox, I'll say
Chris Long talked me into him. Check that out on the pregame show. He made a good case for Jordan Davis. The Ravens go Kyle Hamilton at 14, a Notre Dame safety, and then Tyler Linderbaum at 25. I think Linderbaum is probably one of the steals of the draft, and I would have taken him a lot higher than some of these, than like the guard that the Texans took at 15. I got this as a flat A, but yeah, I think pretty good haul for them.
Yeah, I went A+ here. I think position value aside, they got the top safety and they got the top center, and I think we see on the broadcast that over the last 20 years, every single center who was drafted in the first round was given a second contract with that team.
Yeah.
So it seems like the Ravens have done it again and just outsmarted everyone. Total A+.
Commanders go Jahan Dotson, a receiver out of Penn State, who I like, but at 16 feels like a bit of a reach. And I want to crap on Carson Wentz, so I'm going to give them a C for this selection.
They traded down. It seems like maybe they could have traded down again. I won't crush them like you did. I'll say B-, but it does seem like they reached on their guy.
Chargers go 17. Zion Johnson, guard out of Boston College. Again, I would have gone Linderbaum here. So that's why I give it a B-.
Well, Linderbaum was gone.
No, Linderbaum went 25th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So,
I think this is a ceiling play, right? So maybe just wanting that guard, wanting to create a side of their line with Johnson and Slater now that is just going to be absolutely dominant. I like the pick. I think the Chargers, once again, they pick up a guy that's going to charge. Not surprising, Sean. I'm going to be in on the Chargers this year. I give it an A.
No shock there. I go B-. I think
horrible.
you could have done better there. Titans go Treylon Burks.
Upgrade at receiver. What a day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving this really, I should just give it a. You know what? I'm gonna switch this out to a D.
Ooh.
You go from Treylon Burks to you have AJ Brown and you swap it for Treylon Burks and a third rounder. No way is that a good pick in my mind.
I've been saying it all fantasy offseason. I do think Treylon Burks has, even post draft now, has a very good chance to be very productive in his rookie year. If you've seen the comps to like Devontae Adams in his work around the line of scrimmage in college, like I think he could do some stuff for this team. I like the pick a little bit more than you. I'm going to give it a B.
Well, in Devontae Adams, it took him a couple years to get going. He had a couple really slow years.
And Tannehill could be the limiting factor, but I do like his ability to be a weapon.
Kenny Pickett goes to the Steelers at 20. I'm going I'm going C-. I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett. I would have went Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis is the best quarterback in the draft. I think they're going to regret taking Pickett over Willis.
I feel underwhelmed, which is why I give it a B-, but I am not a quarterback scout, and I do like the fact that he has experience. It does seem like his ceiling is lower, but
yeah, and I guess he could. It could be a good fit in the Steelers, Tomlin, that organization. But yeah, I'm just there just doesn't feel like there's a massive ceiling for it.
And I think the concern would be the juice that you come with being the local kid. Everyone wants to root for you, so there's going to be a little bit of pressure there as well. But who knows? Maybe we're right. In Tomlin, we trust, Sean.
Chiefs, Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington, and they got the pass rusher, Karlaftis.
Love it.
Again, got two of these guys late in the draft, and they always need pass rush help, and they always need cornerback help, and you're in that AFC. So yeah, what did I gave him a B+. Kramer, you got him at an A?
I gave him an A. I thought Karlaftis would be a top 20 pick. I thought McDuffie would be a top 13, 14 pick. I lost on his over-under. So, I love what they did.
Packers go double up on defense. Quay Walker, linebacker, and shout out to Dalton, who had Quay Walker as the first linebacker drafted at 27-1. He gave out on our show. Devontae Wyatt, the guy with some off-the-field issues. But, again, Packers seem like a team that is comfortable dealing with that. They didn't go receiver. But, again, there were 6 receivers taken already at this point. So I can't really kill them for that. I'm going to go B+. I know Aaron Rodgers wanted a receiver once again, didn't get it, but yeah, B+.
I mean, I think the Packers have done a good job over their tenure picking players. I gave it a B+ only because you just extend this annoying narrative where Aaron Rodgers gets to complain about something. And from a completely objective standpoint, who is their top receiver? Sammy Watkins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I would say Juju. I would take Juju over Sammy Watkins.
No, Juju's on Kansas City, Sean.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
But so maybe Bobby – I mean, it's not – they do need to get a receiver. Yes. So second round, hopefully.
I don't know what they're doing. Bills go Kaiir Elam, cornerback out of Florida. I like this pick.
Perfect.
I mean, you could definitely –
A-.
Some people had him higher than McDuffie, so A- for sure.
I think he has a – I think he has a sneaky high ceiling as well because of his speed. So I love the pick for the Bills.
Tyler Smith, tackle out of Tulsa for the Dallas Cowboys. I gave it an F.
Nice.
That is a completely objective draft grade. F for failure. Massive reach by the Cowboys. And again, you could have went Linderbaum here at 24, who can play center and guard, really secure the interior line. And instead you reach on a tackle. Complete embarrassment.
You're right. I gave it a higher grade because there is like a small % chance that they developed this guy. Like he has a tremendously high ceiling, but he's not going to be on the field this year.
No.
And to your point, you can take a Linderbaum who's going to be, you can play him at guard, you can play him at center. Look, they went for the ceiling. But
I love Linderbaum, and the fact that the Ravens drafted him makes me certain that he's going to be really
this
good.
McCarthy coaching staff is not the coaching staff under Garrett that had a dominant offensive line for a long time. They are completely dismantling it. So I'll go D for Dallas.
Cole Strange was drafted by the Patriots. Again, they went viral for a massive reach here. And whatever, if Cole Strange ends up being great, fine. But you didn't need to draft him at 29. The Rams were laughing, going, man, we thought he'd be around at 104. So hardcore F for the Patriots.
I know well, I went D again because I think he is a good player. He could be a good player. And I think the Giants would have taken him in the 3rd round for sure. They really liked him. So I went D just because, again, I think they might have gotten a good player. And, I guess they didn't get good value. But,
yeah.
It's Belichick. He's a horrible GM.
The only positive, it did allow me to tweet out an awesome joke about how Bob Kraft loves Strange. So that I will give them credit for.
Ooh,
Ryan.
It's getting hot in here, Sean.
Bengals. Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan. This is like a solid pick. I don't know what you do here at the end. I probably have Lewis Cine ahead of him. But that's my tape work. So I'll give him a solid B.
Yeah, I give him a B plus. I don't know if I don't know if I would have wanted the safety first if I would. They're still like I really like Booth out of Clemson. If you're going defensive back or even defensive, I give it a B plus. Don't hate the pick, but I like a couple other players more.
Yeah. All right. Lewis Cine is the last pick in the 1st round. Goes to the Minnesota Vikings. I give it a B. I still think they need more cornerback help than safety help. And in the 1st round, hashtag positional versatility, positional value. I think when in doubt, you would take a guy like Booth over Cine. But again, they need help in the secondary, so I give it a B.
5 Georgia players in the 1st round, Sean.
It's insane.
5.
They're basically just drafting.
Stetson Bennett is the luckiest dude in America. He literally won a contest and then got to win a national championship.
All right, that'll do it for our NFL draft grades. We're going to be joined by the VP of Trading here, Alan Berg, in just a second. Want to shout out CoorsLight.com. Oh, man, love me some ice cold package, cold filtered Coors Light. Been enjoying them out here in Vegas. Anytime I need a moment to chill. I was pretty worked up about the Eagles trade. Needed a moment to chill, moment to relax. Grabbed a nice cold Coors Light. I was talking to the Coors Light guy, and we were digging around in the fridge, and I was feeling some of them. And I go, you're careful. A couple of these might be warm. And he's like, all you got to do is the Mountain Blue, and it's ice cold.
Yep.
Enjoying a nice cold Coors Light. And you can get your own Coors Light delivered straight to your door. All you got to do is go to CoorsLight.com/SGP. That's CoorsLight.com/SGP. And remember to always celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Ryan joining us in studio, the new VP of Trading over at WynnBet, Mr. Alan Berg. Alan, thanks for coming on the show.
Boys, I appreciate it. I missed you guys, man.
Yeah, I know.
We missed you too.
Yeah, it's good to connect. Good to talk lines here. Of course, I know from following, WynnBet on social, you guys had a massive liability on Kenny Pickett being drafted by the Titans there. So walk us through what it's like when you're seeing the Steelers on the clock. Were you sweating that one out a little bit?
A little bit. I mean, I think anything that involves the NFL draft, like every bookmaker is sweating. I mean, it to me is like the hardest thing there is to book is draft props.
Yeah.
You take pretty much all bets you take are based on information that's hit somewhere, or it's like 100% sharp, which means it's usually stuff that's going to win. And all you can really do is try as best you can to like minimize like how much you're going to lose. Like literally, that's what I tell the guys. Just don't get killed, please. That's
Minimize
all.
the damage. Yeah. And I can't think of any other market where an outcome can go from plus 200 to plus 2,500 or vice versa.
Derek Stingley at some places,
Yes.
100 to 1.
Yeah, we're not talking about that guy today. No, no, I'm just kidding.
Was there any sort of bad result props wise? What was your worst hit on the props market?
The worst one was actually the quarterbacks under. We had a total of 3, so
Yeah.
honestly that flew under.
We tried to give out over for you.
Appreciate it.
I was wrong on that
But
one.
yeah, I thought these GMs were going to talk themselves into some of these guys. I get it was a down class, but it's still the quarterback. Like, it's make or break. I'm shocked that they stuck to their guns and only one quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, I think the receiver aggressiveness really changed kind of the makeup of how the draft went with the trades that happened as well. I would say that's probably what influenced more than anything, is that there was already a lot of trading going on that didn't have anything to do with these quarterbacks. So I think that basically clinched it. But Stingley was the worst. Other than that, under 7.5, easy.
Yeah.
And then also we had a top 10. We had players you could pick to be in the top 10. He was one of the biggest ones we lost to as well. So.
Well, what did his odds close at to go top 10? He must have been a pretty decent favorite, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the problem is you basically, like, in the draft props, you take like a limit bet pretty much every time. Like, it's not, you don't take $50 and $100 and then you're like, oh, maybe we should move this. It's like, nope, full bet, 500,000, whatever it is. And you're like, okay, well, we have to move that aggressively.
Yes.
So, and like you said, it's unlike anything else, right? Like, if we have, props on a basketball game or whatever, you move it a point,
Yeah.
You're not going to get, like, it's not like no guy scoring in the NBA is going to go from 23.5 to like 37.5.
Yeah,
right?
no,
But
the
in the draft,
swing, the prices are insane.
Yeah.
Well, and that, so like that, it makes sense how the market moves. How do you, like, where does the starting point come from?
you
Do
just
you like
kinda-
hire some of those draft nick grinders and just like figure out where the consensus is?
You kind of basically start with your own selection of, like, where do we think all these guys are going to end up? Like, what are the possibilities here at this spot, and then it's like, okay, now does anyone have any odds up at all, and do we think they're good, bad, whatever, and then we just try to, like, weight it that way. The best thing we really did the whole time was we had Walker at 30 to 1 to be the number 1 pick. And I saw one thing, like, online that was kind of just under the radar a little bit, and I immediately went to 7 to 1.
Got to the bad phone.
Got, like,
was like
way ahead of it.
Yeah.
And then we still lost to it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's hilarious. Like, no matter what you do, like, it's the hardest thing to book.
Yeah, I think you guys closed it at like minus 500, minus 600. At that point, I was like, may as well roll the dice with Aquanu at 8 to 1. Because I don't know, laying minus 600 is not that tempting to me. But what about what do you, in your mind, what was the biggest surprise of the draft? For me, it was Malik Willis not going in the first round, just because he has in my mind, the highest ceiling of these quarterbacks. And I was certain one of these guys would talk themselves into it. But what about you personally? What was surprising?
I thought the Lions being really aggressive and trading up for Williams was the most surprising. I'm a big fan of that kid. I think he would have probably been a top 5 pick if he wouldn't have got hurt. I like that. I think the Lions, they've been that team for years that just kind of has never got anything together, and landing that guy in Hutchinson, I mean, that's a pretty good start to their year this year.
No,
if they only had a quarterback.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When we gave him the mock,
then maybe they'll get Willis.
When we gave him the draft grades, I kind of dinged him because I was like, you still need a quarterback, but if they can pull off Malik Willis in the second round, then I'm gonna have to go back and revisit my grade. Now I know. What about the futures? Like, is there someone that really, helped a team? Maybe an MVP price, most rushing, receiving yards, any sort of movement you guys have done based off the draft?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of chilling on it right now, not doing too much to overreact. I mean, normally you don't move too much. I think you'd have to see something crazy like the year Trevor Lawrence went. If he would have been traded to somebody that was already a playoff team, then maybe you'd move a future off of that, something like that. But in most cases, I'd say we'd probably bring Hurts in a little bit at MVP.
Yeah,
I was kind of high on the Eagles a little bit.
Let's go.
I just don't buy the Cowboys will have the same luck that they had last year.
Oh yeah, this Alan really knows how to talk to us, right?
Now talk to you, man.
I know the win totals will be coming out in the coming weeks here over at WynnBet. You're looking to always get kind of balanced action. What what do you got to open the Eagles at? You think like 13.5, 14.5 wins? You need to get both sides. I mean, now that we got AJ Brown, Devonta Smith,
Sean's playing it up to 16.
yeah.
I'll have to have the SGP Eagles win total with heavy juice on under 13.5 now.
Put out an alternate over 13.5. I'll get down on it. I'll make it worth your while, Alan. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting, and you're right. Like the draft's never gonna swing the like win total Super Bowl stuff, but I do think some of the like most rushing receiving yards, the MVP stuff, I think there'll probably be some slight adjustments there. And then what do you think about the rookie class? I mean, it was pretty crazy last year where we saw the rookie of the year, Jamar Chase. Like I gave out Mac Jones 12-1 preseason and felt really good about it until those last couple of weeks where, you know what really killed him was Mac Jones, that one game where he only threw the ball 3 times. Yeah. I think they were like, all right, they can kind of figure it out without this guy. I think that hurt him. And then Chase just had those couple monster games there at the end of the season. I haven't seen anyone put any lines out yet, but like, what are you looking at for rookie of the year? Because normally it's going to lean heavy towards the quarterback, but you have Kenny Pickett, the only quarterback drafted so far. He's 20th, or drafted 20th. Are you going to make him a favorite? Like, if you had a guess right now, who do you think you would open up as the favorite for rookie of the year?
Oh man, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd say Williams is definitely in the conversation. I think he could flat away be the best receiver in the Lions. All due respect to what's his name, St. Brown.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, he's great.
Good complimentary receivers.
Yeah.
Oh, Jameson Williams in a dome could be freakish.
Yeah.
And even Jared Goff, who is by no means good, can get him the ball. And Jameson Williams, you could like that offense that Alabama ran, and just even that game he was having before he got hurt against Georgia, like you could see them doing a lot of that in Detroit, and I think that's pretty exciting for them.
But assuming that Evan Neal doesn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year at tackle, don't be ashamed to put Chris Olave near the top of the board because Jameis Winston, we're big Jameis guys over here.
We always we've been discussing his MVP odds at like 100-1. It's kind of interesting.
We've seen an Ohio State receiver go down to New Orleans and break out. So
yeah,
you know how it goes.
I mean, some of the other ones, like maybe when Malik Willis finally gets drafted, depending on where he ends up,
he'll be up there. All the quarterbacks will be there, especially if they're in spots where they'll be competing.
Any early thoughts on the defensive rookie of the year market? Like obviously Hutchinson, Travon Walker probably going to be up there, but again, this class seems like the most wide open. I mean, maybe a Jermaine Johnson. Pass rushers seem to get a lot of love, and same with cornerbacks. I would imagine Sauce Gardner is going to be pretty high on the list.
That was going to be my guy off the top right there.
Yeah.
I said I'd keep an eye on that guy. I think he could do some really good things for the Jets. Just his style of play. I think his ability to probably cause turnovers. I think, as a rookie, the vets aren't going to be afraid to challenge him, but they might be thinking differently in week 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot take, right? The defensive rookie of the year is coming from New York this year.
Wow.
Because we got some loud personalities on and off the field, Sean.
Well, Kayvon Thibodeau, he's going to be up there. Yeah. Like, again, it's going to be a super exciting market. And
Sean's very mad that the Eagles didn't get Thibodeau.
I would have liked Thibodeau, but again, Jordan Davis, I think he's going to be interesting. He would be tough for rookie of the year because he's probably not going to have the sacks. But even though he could have a great year, it's definitely a counting award as the Sharps call it, Ryan. So I would worry that he wouldn't have the sacks to really get the pop there when it comes to that. Do you guys have any other stuff draft wise that you're sweating out in these next couple of rounds? Or
no, not really. It's pretty much a first round deal with us. Again, you put so much. If you put the more stuff you put up on the board,
you're just getting killed.
You're just gonna get killed. I really think it's going to be a really great betting event as we keep getting further and further along, and more people around the country get involved. And but we definitely need some people to bet a couple hundred that aren't quite as sharp as some of the other guys to keep me safe and sane. So
now I know, and maybe you don't really know because you work in kind of like a slightly different area, but Why is it in Las Vegas they cut the draft props off at 5 o'clock the day before? I mean, luckily, Kramer and I got some of our bets in here locally before the cutoff, but I know some people came into town to watch the draft, and they're like, yeah, I want to bet on it, and they had locked the draft at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. What is the logic behind that?
I think one of the things was Nevada, I believe, was the first place that did have draft props.
Yeah.
If they didn't, it's definitely New Jersey, but they just wanted to be extra cautious because it was just, again, it's information betting, right? Like, I mean, you're not betting on something that's happening on a field. So with that in mind, I think they took a good casual approach. I was surprised they didn't at least move it up a little bit, being that the draft was here, but they got gaming control is the reason that they're here. So.
Well, yeah, that used to
How
be
many guys got kicked out of sports books over the last 24 hours?
Let me
What
bet
do you
on
mean?
the total number of receivers in the first round. Sir,
The crazy part is those are probably the bets that you'd want to take. Those last minute, like
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the sharpest stuff coming in.
Those are the best chances we have for sure. Is day of, which is why it's like you put it up so early, and you're just like, oh my goodness, like we're just in horrible spot no matter who goes number one.
And of course, NFL is just dominating right now, but we do have the NBA playoffs going on as well. Over at WynnBet, what do you guys, some of the big favorites coming into the season, Lakers, Nets, neither of them won a playoff game. I imagine that's probably a good result. But what do you guys have any rooting interest in the NBA playoffs? A team you're worried about, cashing some futures?
Yeah, I mean the Suns is the one that we're pretty we don't have a great position on.
Well, you guys are in Arizona.
Exactly, yeah.
WynnBet Arizona.
Yeah, so we have quite a few Suns fans down there that'll be extra happy if the Suns win, which we'll be all right with. It's funny, we actually we were kind of keeping the Nets a little lower, so for that was a disappointment for us.
Really?
They didn't get back into it. I hated that they drew the Celtics though. That's a horrible first rounder for them. Boston will be okay. And then, a couple of the other bigger favorites. I mean, we've got an okay position on, so we'll definitely be rooting them in.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you coming in, Alan, and obviously give Alan a follow on Twitter at %Berg. Give WynnBet a follow on Twitter at WynnBet. And, of course, download the Wynn betting app or go to wynnbet.com. Bet big, win bigger. Alan, appreciate the time, man. I would say best of luck, but sometimes I'm on the other side, so
that's fine.
Keep doing your thing.
I'll see you in the streets. That's
yes.
what you say.
All right. Well, thanks, Alan. Appreciate your time. I was just trying to wrap my head around the Rookie of the Year market because that's going to be super interesting. I think, especially for this draft, there was no obvious, like Trevor Lawrence types.
To me, the defensive one is a little bit more of a narrow, because the offensive one's all over the place. It's going to be at this point we don't really know who's going to have the best opportunity, and there's going to be some receivers with chances. There's got to be a quarterback. There's always a quarterback, but could there be another position, say an offensive tackle who doesn't give up a single sack or holding all year?
Are you talking about a sleeper, Ryan? Perfect transition to the sleeper fantasy read. Again, you're probably already playing sleeper on your fantasy football. Great for Dynasty. We know we use Sleeper for our Dynasty. They also have their over-under game. Click on over-under there. You can win 2x to 20x just simply putting together some player prop over-unders. And when you use the promo code SGP, instant deposit match up to $100. Promo code SGP over at Sleeper. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. And of course, AG1, been popping open the AG1 athletic greens every day, getting it going, have been helping keep me a little bit healthy here in Las Vegas. 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Ryan, I know you're a big AG1 guy as well.
I mean, like you said, travel packs in the water. You were putting it in Coors. You were throwing it in the Coors Light yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
Get a little
if it tastes
edge with the Coors Light.
I don't know if it tastes quite as good in there, but yeah, I mean, look, we're Soy Boy likes the veggies.
Tastes good.
Back still feels good.
It goes down easy and makes you feel good. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/SGP. That's athleticgreens.com/SGP to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Joining us in studio,
hell yeah,
our main man, Nate Collins, AKA Dr. Fax from the Greenlight Podcast. What's happening, Dr. Fax?
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. How you doing?
It's Vegas, man. We got to hear what you're up to.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, man. I got that vitamin IV drip yesterday.
Nice. Oh, nice.
And not to do any free promo, but I feel amazing. Had a night of drinking with the boys and didn't know how today was gonna go this morning, but got to get to the buffet and get some food in me, and I think I'm ready to go.
So you're a buffet guy. What's the first stop at the buffet? You get in there, you sit down, you order a drink, and then what?
To me, honestly, I'm a big sushi guy.
Oh.
And here at the Wynn,
In the morning?
I saw a lot of between you and Chris, your sushi plates. You guys tweeted out there was heated debate. Can you eat sushi at 9:30 in the morning?
But it's 9:30 here. In actuality, it's like my body clock isn't at 9:30. So it's one of those things for me. If I see sushi and the buffet here, you can just get anything. So it's one of those things for me. I want to get my money's worth, and you're supposed to take a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I get it, because what do I always tell you, Sean? Don't forget to eat. It's important to remind your friends when you're in Vegas to eat.
Oh, my goodness.
Because the time just melts in, and days can melt into one another. So while I probably wouldn't go for the sushi at 9:30 in the morning, I get it. Right?
Well,
it's protein, it's carbs, it's the fuel you need.
I saw one of the plates that either you or Chris tweeted out, and there was gravy really close to touching the sushi, and it's just like you can't do that. You need a separate plate.
No, that was me, and it was tartar sauce, and Chris is everyone's like freaked out about it, and it's one of those things. Hey, like, food can touch each other. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it all ends up in the same place, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the day, but all the food was good. So at the end of the day, it worked out, and I'm pushing through.
Yeah, you look like you got that buffet sedation where you put it down. And you're just like, all right, I'm good.
Nate could be a buffet coach for my kids. They're hard. They don't like the food touching. So
yeah,
we got to get them over.
The problem with kids is they don't know the high value items either.
Yeah.
And Nate's saying get your money's worth. You got to go sushi. Some of that.
My
crab.
10-year-old understands anything that bleeds, prime rib, rare steak.
His daughter is an insane carnivore.
16-ounce ribeye, give it to her. All right.
So you guys are out here for the draft. You guys just did the live draft watch party. That was a lot of fun. What about you? What was your biggest surprise coming into the draft?
I would say that I thought maybe a quarterback wouldn't. I think I was more hoping that a quarterback wouldn't go in the first round.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. It was
just for the chaos of it.
It was sort of entertaining them showing Pickett sitting there with his family.
It is.
I'm glad he got picked and he ended up in his own city, and it's a feel-good story. But just a guy. I was undrafted, so I have no sympathy for any of these guys.
For Kenny Pickett, his girlfriend, every time she's like rubbing his arm, like,
any of these guys.
It's gonna be soon, Kenny.
I'm like, imagine feeling that way for 7 rounds. So like, you guys are off the board in a few hours, and now it's all good. But I was surprised about that, and I was saying this year it's one of those drafts where, just like the Mahomes and D. Watson, like, that wasn't a draft where anyone was looking at quarterbacks really to be, hey, like, this quarterback is going to be the next thing. And those two guys, like, are putting up numbers, and there's guys that, hey, maybe they'll get a jacket later on if it works out, but they're putting up the numbers that no one really was expecting. So it's going to be interesting to see if any quarterbacks poke out this year in that way, and to see down the road what happens.
Yeah, and we're taping this obviously before the round 2 happens. Malik Willis hasn't been drafted. I think he could be a fun long shot rookie of the year, depending on where he ends up, but he's certainly going to be a big underdog.
And it could be one of those weird blessings in disguise. Like, typically they get bumped up into the first round. There's more pressure. Maybe they get to actually sit for a little bit.
Hey,
go somewhere like on a team where they already have a decent quarterback.
I mean, I like that kid for Tampa, and play a few years behind Tom and see what he can do and see what he can learn and what can happen. So, yeah, just like you're saying, it might be a blessing in disguise, and it's going to be interesting today also to see what happens. And probably the biggest thing I took from the first round is, if I'm a D lineman or a defensive back, I would be looking to go to Georgia.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a pipeline at this point. I mean, they carried Stetson Bennett to a national championship. Like, so you just got to look at him. You got to look at that guy's picture and just realize he won a contest, walked onto the team, and he gets to carry the national championship trophy because 5 of his whole
That
defense
really was
his whole
crazy.
defense is going to I think 9 out of 11 guys are projected to get drafted, and the other 2 will certainly be signed. That's 11 guys on a defense. Maybe it's only 10 that are going to be playing NFL football. So like.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. As me being a past D lineman, and just to see, like it's one of those things of watching them play and seeing them play this year. We knew this was going to happen, but to actually see it happening now and like, hey, these guys are actually most of these guys are gonna go, they're gonna go, and then for the Packers to grab two of the D tackles that already. Or the D lineman and D tackle that play with each other already in a system, it's going to be very interesting to see.
Well, you know, Nakobe Dean, one of the knocks on him was like, oh, he's playing in front of these massive guys on the Georgia defensive line, and it made his job a lot easier.
True.
But now maybe there's a chance the Eagles drafted Jordan Davis. Maybe they can also draft Nakobe Dean, and the knock of him playing behind Jordan Davis and making his life easier. Now he's just a teammate.
It's gonna be real interesting, and I think I just think this is the best promotion for Georgia that you can ask for, and for the coaching staff and everyone involved. It's just a testament that, hey, like, you put in the work and you find the guys and you develop them the right way. This is kind of what happens with your program, and it's probably going to put their program at a real good position for the next couple of years.
Kirby Smart with almost a boot to Nick Saban out the door. I mean, this is a clear takeover.
Yeah.
Of the number one recruiting
it used to be,
program.
Alabama was like a slam
Or
dunk.
LSU,
Yeah. But now, like, when you're Georgia, it's just like, hey, you're going to be a first rounder. You're definitely getting drafted, probably in the first round. It's crazy, kind of the
We love
run
dogs.
they had.
We like dogs.
Yes, I'm a big dog guy and like betting on underdogs. So, not afraid to rock the dogs here. Ryan, I got a fun segment I worked up here for Dr. Fax.
Yes, let's go.
All right. This is Facts about Facts.
Okay.
So I'm going to quiz you on trivia about your career / life, and we'll learn some facts about facts.
Oh, this is going to be great.
This is going to be good.
All right, here we go. First question. Now, you played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, had a little run there in CFL. What is the Blue Bombers mascot? Extra credit if you can come up with the name.
Oh, man.
We need some, thinking music.
Oh, I'm so upset. I'm sorry.
I don't know either.
Bombers fans. I am sorry. Wait. It's the bird, right? It's the bird in the plane. Wait, I know the name. Oh, what is it? No, I give up.
You got it. Well, I'll give you credit. It's a bird, Buzz and Boomer.
Buzz and Boomer.
I don't know if it was unclear if one's a plane, but I think that's what they were going for. The mascot's a little crazy looking.
That's funny.
All right, next question.
Shout out to the CFL, by the way.
Shout
out
big
to
fan
the
of CFL.
Bombers, Coach O'Shea, everyone up there.
Total career tackles in the NFL. The totals sit at 33.5. Were you over or under in your career?
I believe over.
Correct.
Yeah.
Over.
39?
I got two different. Pro Football Reference and your Wikipedia have two different answers.
Okay.
So it's either 34 or 35. Either way, you cash that over.
And you can tell Sean's worked in entertainment. That was always going to be an over.
Yeah.
You want to make the guests look good and personal.
I felt that. That's why I was like, hey, it's probably over.
Smart-
It's probably,
smart
a
game
little
there.
alley-oop. I appreciate that.
Nate's been around.
I
He knows what's
appreciate
going to
that.
happen. This is the final question for all the marbles here. Now, this is going off the first photo I saw. Total items on your buffet plate.
Oh.
Now, I'm like, if you have 4 potatoes, I didn't count that as.
Okay.
I
That's
counted
one.
that as 1. Correct.
Okay.
Total items on the buffet plate. Total at 9.5. Over under.
Oh, I think I'm just under.
I'll go over.
It's
Nate's
under.
right.
Yeah, I think it's
9.
8. I was 9.
I
It's
graded
9.
it at 9. I couldn't
Okay.
tell if where there was
I
like
graded it 9.
there was bacon and then maybe there was some ham, but I just graded the whole thing as bacon. So again, we'll have to look into the.
Oh, it's funny because I think there's like 7 stations. I'm sorry that I know that.
You got one for each.
All right, you know a good thing when you see it, Nate.
That's
so funny.
Awesome. Well, Nate, appreciate you coming by, stopping in, saying what's up. Make sure you check out the Greenlight Podcast. If you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you hop on their YouTube, kicking off at 4 o'clock Pacific for the second round live draft stream. And give Nate a follow on Twitter at Big N98. Dr. Fax, thank you, sir. That was always fun.
Appreciate you guys having me on, man.
All right,
we got to do it. We got to lock you in for some NFL episodes this fall. We got to get coming in with a parlay for us every week.
1,000%.
The Dr. Fax mega long parlay. I love it.
And if I take a trip out the West Coast, I'll come do it in person.
Hell yeah!
You're always welcome. Come by the LA studio.
All right.
Give it up for Dr. Fax.
Appreciate
Thank you,
you
sir.
guys.
Always enjoy having you on the show.
I'm a man enough to say this. My favorite Wahoo of all time.
Oh wow, there you go.
And I've only said
beating
that.
out Chris.
I've not actually said that about Chris yet. So.
Yes. So you saved it for Nate. That was well played, Ryan.
Nate's our boy.
Tech guy.
Nate's our
for
boy.
sure. All right, what else do we got going on here? Well, Ryan, you also worked up some draft grades for teams that traded.
So, as you know, I like completeness. So I thought, if we're going to talk about all the teams, we should probably include because most of these teams have a very direct player related to what their first round pick was. So I thought we would go through that real quick. Starting, we'll go top to bottom in this case. The Raiders, I gave them I gave them an A. I think anytime, much like, getting A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams is a clear guy who's going to elevate your offense immediately.
Yeah.
Yes, you're paying him a lot of money, but this is a case where he's a locker room guy. He's a leader. He's a college teammate of Derek Carr. Like, this Raiders locker room is going to be tight this year, and they might play better than the sum of their parts. And so I gave this an A. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, you have to give it an A. I mean, you could make a pretty easy case, A+. You got Devontae Adams, you have him in the dome, and Derek Carr, he has personal chemistry with Derek Carr, so I think that is actually worth something in the trade as well.
To me, an A+ was reserved for a team that picked up multiple assets. So that was the only thing limiting them for me. All right, Rams, next up. Their pick, of course, was in the Matt Stafford trade. Hard to not give this anything more than an A-. They won the Super Bowl. So I guess in a way, maybe I should be giving this an A
yeah.
or an A+.
Yeah, you were all in on the Matty Stafford trade. I was the one who was doubting it.
But, I guess you have to sprinkle in a little bit about what does the future look like for the Rams. Well, if they get one more Super Bowl and just go dark for a couple of years, I think most fans would probably take that too.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Let me bump this up to just make it an A+. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A+ for both of these trades.
Like I said, I think maybe the Raiders win the Super Bowl, and I'll be wrong, but near the top of the table anyway. All right, next up we got the Broncos. Their pick, it got siphoned off in the Russell Wilson trade. I give this an A-. I think the Broncos for a very long time have been a team that flirted with the playoffs and were lacking a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And we love Russell Wilson. I think there's a small % chance he's done and he's fallen off the cliff. I just don't believe it. I think he has tons of weapons.
I love the Broncos team. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why he wanted to leave Seattle so much. Maybe it was just Pete Carroll was a pain in the ass.
He wanted to get off the rotting ship. That is Pete Carroll.
Yeah, they kind of fell apart there at the end. But I'm with you. A-. Maybe just a slight downgrade because they ended up giving up so much there. But yeah, I'm with you.
To get Russell Wilson, why not? And I think I feel like the chances that it works is there. He's Russ Wilson. He's going to put 110% into whatever they're selling. So, all right, next up, I don't really think you can grade the Bucs yet until I don't know how you grade.
Yeah, I would just give them an NA. They traded down, but not too far.
Dolphins. So they kind of got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle they traded one of their first round picks for Jalen Waddle. So even if you just look at it, Tyreek Hill, I'm giving this a B+ because this is a conscious effort to bring in a bona fide playmaker, and they maybe knew that bringing in a rookie wasn't the right move.
Yeah.
Bringing in a guy with some swagger, someone who could maybe take some of the heat off of Tua for a little bit at least until it's not working out.
I'm trying to separate myself and be an honest grader. Separate my feelings of Tua and the Dolphins, who I love Flores as a coach.
I went B+.
Yeah, I'll go B-. Just because I think, especially that Jalen Waddle trade. Waddle is good, but what would you rather have? Devonta Smith in a first rounder or Jalen Waddle? I still, and that first rounder that they used essentially was a big part of the reason why they got A.J. Brown. So, I mean, value-wise, it's not great, but yeah,
but
Tyreek is fair.
But Tyreek Hill, to me, one of the receivers I would put ahead of A.J. Brown. I just think he has the ability to transform an offense, and I think it also makes what the Chiefs look like really intriguing. But yeah, B+. All right, Cardinals. Of course, giving up their first-round pick for Hollywood Brown. Read a little bit. Apparently, Hollywood Brown's put on a little bit of weight. We have the shower narrative.
Good weight or bad weight?
I don't know. I mean, he I don't know. Who knows about his habits? But he played with Kyler in college.
Oh, it makes Kyler happy. Maybe he's going to put all his social media back on. These guys really crack me up at times. I give it a C+. I mean, maybe a slightly higher grade until you see what the Eagles were able to get with less draft capital.
Here's what I can't – that I agree with. But I don't think it was about getting a receiver more than it was getting Kyler a friend. And I can't kill it because Hollywood Brown, for what he has been, which is not a very exciting receiver, he has flashed.
Yeah. He's had some moments.
He's going to have a do you agree that Kyler is a more consistent passer of the football
than Lamar?
And that the air raid is going to get the ball in his hands in a more horizontal sense where he can make plays?
Yeah, and you have D-Hop there, right?
So I can't kill this one, but I did give it a B-.
C+ feels right because of what you had to give up for it. I guess you don't have to re-sign him to a new extension like you did with A.J. Brown, but
it made your franchise quarterback happy. Like that's important.
That's true. Yeah, maybe
they took care of a lot of problems with a single first-round pick, and Hollywood Brown at that point in the draft, Sean. Think about all the receivers that are already gone. Is Hollywood Brown as good as the next receiver who's going to come off the board?
That's neck and neck to me.
Potentially, so I can't kill it. All right, next up, the Bears. Their trade, their first-round pick, which was turned into Evan Neal, was given up in the Justin Fields trade. Still, from what my report, still hasn't figured out the whiteboard.
I think
dry erase is confusing to him.
I'm going B+ here because I think they saw the market, and Justin Fields is drafted way ahead of any of these other quarterbacks in this class.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
And just eye test.
I agree.
Some of that Monday night game, there's a couple other games where that kid really looked like he had it. So I think you're taking a shot at a quarterback. What you gave up wasn't insane.
He hasn't worked out yet, and he's out of sight.
It's tough to give it a full grade because you don't know where you're getting with Fields. But I'm going B+ for now.
He's out of cycle with this coach and GM. We've seen this before.
That is a red flag where the guy drafting you isn't the head coach and whatever, so that could put you in a bad spot.
I know we like his potential in fantasy, and I know that he's flashed, but we just talked about Hollywood Brown. He's flashed as well, and I wouldn't say he's someone that's going to transform a franchise. So I went lower. I went C. I crushed this one a little bit.
I'm going B+.
Next up, Browns. This was a Deshaun Watson trade. I'll be honest, I don't know how I give it a C. Deshaun, there's more going on?
I mean, I don't even know how you grade this Deshaun Watson trade because the guy hasn't played football in a year.
You don't have Baker anymore.
You don't know what his suspension is going to be, assuming he does get suspended. And he won four games with the Texans. I know the team didn't have a great people around him.
No, that's a great point.
But as a franchise quarterback, your whole job is to elevate the people around you. Davis Mills won more games with essentially that same Texans roster than Deshaun Watson did.
Yeah.
How are we the only people talking about that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious because Deshaun Watson's he made some flashy plays.
Yeah, I get it. He's a big name and he made some plays, but he's to me, if we're just talking play on the field, he's right now he's in that window where he's a better Carson Wentz, where there's a couple highlight plays where it's like, oh my God, look at he got out of this crazy thing and threw it downfield. But then are the wins there? I mean, they just really aren't.
Look,
now,
a
to
fun
his
player.
credit, he's had a better career than Carson Wentz, and obviously I think he's better moving forward. But I think there's a ton of question marks about
Also,
Deshaun Watson.
How many guys have taken a year off and come back and been fine?
Yeah, I mean, this is impossible to grade. I'm giving it an NA because
C.
Well,
C. I graded it.
all
C.
right, C, straight C's.
Next up, the 49ers, of course. Trey Lance drafted with the number 3 pick, trading up, giving Howie all this ammunition, or they were part of that, right?
Yeah.
Look, I gave this a flat. This is the lowest grade I gave. It's an F.
I go D, but yeah,
It's an F.
you traded up to the
No, it's an F.
number 3
How
draft
is it a D?
position. Well, because he might be really good at some point.
I
guess.
used that. I did use that
logic for
the Patriots and the Cowboys, but he's not going to be good because he couldn't beat out Jimmy Garoppolo.
and
He couldn't beat. He still hasn't beaten out Jimmy Garoppolo because he's still on the team.
Ryan.
We spoke to Robbie Gold. We said, hey, give us something to be excited about Trey Lance.
Yeah.
He didn't give us anything.
Imagine,
He didn't even say Jimmy G was gone.
Imagine though, like the 49ers were so close to begin with. That's why I don't understand why you trade away all that draft capital. All that stuff they traded away for Trey Lance, a guy who barely played last year. Imagine if they use those first rounders for linemen, receivers, cornerbacks, safeties.
Imagine if they had a first-round pick to get a receiver and then have a little bit of leverage over Deebo Samuel. Oh,
Imagine what they could have done even last year. You were in the NFC Championship game. You were up. I get it. You know, Jimmy G was part of the reason that you guys lost that game. But do you think is Trey Lance winning that game? 100%? Like, come on.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this is what you get when you have a welcome mat for a GM.
All right. Last one here, Ryan, is, of course, our good buddies, the Indianapolis Colts trading. Well, they traded away Carson Wentz. And wait, why? I'm blanking. Why didn't the Colts have a first rounder this year? Oh, wait, that was for their initial. Oh, yeah, that was because
They traded their pick this year
to the Eagles for Carson Wentz.
the one that turned into A.J. Brown, for Carson Wentz. So
Someone
you know
had
what?
a tweet. They're like, they straight up flipped Carson Wentz for A.J. Brown. So
Actually,
this is obviously an F.
I'm going to actually create a new number. We're going to go F minus. Look, all right. You're right. Trey Lance might surprise us. Carson Wentz isn't going to surprise anyone.
No, not at all.
No one is scared of Carson Wentz. This can't be a solution, Ron Rivera. I like Ron Rivera. Riverboat Ron is one of my favorite all-time coaching characters.
Great nickname, too.
Great nickname.
And he's actually analytical, Ron.
I've always you're right. I'm sorry. A big analytics guy. I like the way that he rallies the locker room. I like the way that he got in the players, wanted players. He was holding players accountable during tough times. And this is just. I feel it's like he's being set up.
Ron Rivera.
He's being set up to be fired.
Ron Rivera has gone through a lot, and I
saw
just
something.
I feel bad that he's overcome so much, his health scare, everything.
Yeah.
And now you have to be burdened with Carson Wentz. I feel for the man. Seems like a great guy. Ryan, we were just talking about surprises. You don't want any surprises when it comes to your IP browsing, internet traffic.
No. Especially when
Hackers,
I'm at a hotel.
ISPs. Yeah, you're at a hotel. Who knows what you're up to? You want to hide your location. You want to keep your internet traffic safe and secure. You got to use IPVanish, the official VPN of Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We use it for God's Eye. We got all those TVs. It's great for hiding your location. You can use it on your Fire Stick. And again, why I've been hesitant of other VPNs in the past is it's running through the VPN. It's going to slow you down. Doesn't slow you down. And unlimited devices on IPVanish. Plus, IPVanish 30-day money-back guarantee. 70% off their yearly plan. All you got to do is go to ipvanish.com/SGP. ipvanish.com/SGP. And we're also brought to you by PropSwap, where America goes to buy and sell real sports bets. NBA playoffs are heating up, Ryan, and everyone congratulating us, of course. We did give out the Mavs. I think I looked it up. We gave it out at plus 230 for the series. You recommended betting it after they lost the first game, so that was at least 255, 260.
Just a classic maximizing EV Strategy play.
maximize EV. And PropSwap really is a great tool to maximize your EV. Head over to PropSwap.com. Use that promo code SGP. Get an instant deposit bonus up to $500. That's PropSwap.com. Promo code SGP. Instant deposit match up to $500. That's pretty awesome. The old PropSwap guarantee there on the deposit bonus. Ryan, our special mystery guest, running a couple minutes late.
Oh, no.
Should be joining us here any second. But I got to be honest. My eyes lit up when I heard Alan Berg say, we might have to lower Jalen Hurts' MVP price. Ryan, you had to be shaking in your boots when Alan said that.
Well, I so badly want to pull back the curtain and explain how this was all a setup just to make you happy. Yeah, I mean, it was great. Once again, he must be a fan of the show. He sees you wearing the vet shirt, and he understands that, while it's important that the host tickle the guest, there's got to be a little reciprocal tickling. And I think he came out with a perfect. He knew that you would get excited about that. He played along with your over 13.5. That was fun.
He's
that was
a great
cute.
guest. I like your phrase reciprocal tickling.
And I have to think that your cup of coffee is going to turn into a first date.
Ryan, we're out here at the Wynn. Everything with the Wynn is top notch when it comes to like the rooms, the service, housekeeping, like everything.
The humidifiers in the room.
Humidifiers, like they really treat you great here at the on the property, as they say in the industry. I do have one complaint, and we experienced it firsthand. Was sitting next to people who don't know how to play blackjack drives me insane. And I tweeted that out. Hey, if you don't know how to play blackjack, don't sit next to me.
Yeah.
I was surprised at some of the people that are like, hey, don't tell me how to play blackjack.
I will say,
then don't sit next to me.
There was one good response, which is if you don't want to play with assholes, don't sit at the asshole table. We could have gone to a higher limit. That is true. But yeah, I mean, come on. Know the rules of the game.
Exactly. All right, Ryan, our special guest is here, and we're going to introduce him in just 1 second. Joining us in studio, newly minted Baltimore Raven, drafted 25th overall. He's actually the tallest running back prospect in history, Christian Henry. Christian, thanks for coming on the show, man.
What's going on, fellas?
Christian's a good running back name. Christian
exactly.
Okoye.
Who's going to have more yards next year, you or Christian McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey's a fool, and he's been in it for a while, so.
He gets hurt too, right?
That is.
You're healthy, right?
Yeah, no, I'm healthy, so I plan on definitely having some of the most yards.
All right.
Well, all right. Bold prediction there. All right, so you're sitting there, you're out here in Vegas, so obviously you think you're going to be going pretty high. You're sitting there by the phone. Walk us through what it's like when you get the call from the Ravens organization.
Man, it's unreal. Honestly, it's an unreal feeling. A lot of emotions going through, but it's just a culmination of all the sacrifices that I've made, finally being rewarded for it, and it feels amazing, honestly.
Now, you talk about all your sacrifices. Walk people through your background to get to the draft. People like hearing those stories, what you had to overcome in high school. I know you went through a lot. Walk people through your journey here.
Yeah, well, high school was pretty smooth. Then when I got to the University of Miami, of course, tearing my ACL in my sophomore season was a huge hurdle to overcome. But came back next season, had a record-setting year. My first season back, came back from that ACL injury in 4 months, killed it. And, it's just, you got to just fight through adversity, man. Things are going to happen. You just got to keep your head on. You got to have a good support system. And I really got to give it up to them because they really keep my head on straight and keep me focused.
Now you got to meet Roger Goodell. You go out there. Did you go hug or handshake with Roger Goodell? What was your first impressions of Roger Goodell?
Roger Goodell, man. Roger Goodell's all right, man. I definitely went handshake. It was a weak-ass handshake. It's pretty much what I expected from Raj.
Small hands.
Oh wow, Ryan, hearing that.
Little hands.
Who has bigger hands, Kenny Pickett or Roger Goodell?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh wow.
Kenny Pickett.
Now we got some draft controversy, Ryan.
63 million reasons to have small hands.
What are you going to do with your first paycheck? Have they given you your first paycheck yet? Because if I would have got drafted in Vegas, I'd be like, hey, you guys can just give me that in chips. I'm ready to go.
No, they tried to give it to me in Bitcoin actually, but I told them just bring me a duffel bag of cash.
I like that.
You're from the Randy Moss School of Business.
Analog currency.
Yeah,
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, it spends easier, it spends faster. So no, but a couple things. I like animals, so I was thinking I want to build a little sanctuary in my house for spider monkeys, and have some spider monkeys swinging around the crib, and then obviously workout facility. Indoor sauna and a cold room where I could like turn a knob and make it snow in my house. Like, I always had a dream about that. Then I'll probably call my mom and see if she wants something.
You know,
just be careful. Deshaun Watson had a little massage situation. You don't want to have that going on.
Oh yeah. We'll keep the masseuses out of the house.
You got to keep an eye on that. There were a lot of reports that maybe you were too tall, too lanky to make it in the NFL. Again, we don't see running backs being this high. Were teams asking about that in your interview process?
Yeah, they ask about it, and it's something that comes up. But if you've seen me play and you see what I do, then it's not a problem for me. I don't think there's anybody that's excited about lining up with me. I'm trucking shit.
Wow. So you're calling out the fact you're going to be trucking guys. You're in the AFC North, Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh Steelers are your rivals. Do you have a message you want to send to TJ Watt? I know he listens to our show a bunch. What would you say to TJ Watt? You're going to be playing him twice a year.
TJ Watt, get ready, man. You get one hand on me ain't enough. You might lose a finger.
Oh, I love it, Ryan.
TJ's generally ready, so I'm excited for this battle.
We're gonna see what happens.
Christian, thanks for coming on. One final thing before we let you go. Can you give us a prediction for you and your rookie year and the Baltimore Ravens? One bold prediction for you and the team.
Man, Super Bowl aspirations. We already know what Lamar is capable of. We already know what that organization is capable of. We see what they can do, and I'm excited to become a part of it. And I don't see us ending anywhere less than a Super Bowl championship.
And just to be clear, when Lamar Jackson tweeted out WTF, it was not in response to you being drafted, correct?
No, that was about Hollywood leaving, and nobody's excited about that. That's a great player. That was a great addition, but we are bringing in more offensive forces. So
yep,
Let's
if
go.
Lamar needs
All
a little bit of help, you're going to be the
go.
guy that takes care of it. Give it up for Christian Henry. And Christian, obviously everyone's going to see you on Sunday playing for those Ravens. Where else can we check you out?
You can check me out at Playmaker Cool. You could check me out at and I just want to say can I give a quick shout out real quick? Shout out to my sponsor, Game Day Vodka. Shout out to Playmaker for making this happen. And Ballsack, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere all
social media can be found. All right, Christian, best of luck with your rookie year. Thanks so much for coming in. Let it ride, Christian.
Thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it. Yep. Wow, Ryan, first ever draft prospect coming right from Las Vegas here to our studio.
And in the
very excited.
And in the draft spirit, we're putting all sorts of good tape on out there for the future drafts. I mean, what energy?
You hear the noise leaking in. A lot of people are getting their pictures with Christian. So, congrats to Christian. And, wow, getting to meet a first-round prospect right after they get drafted, couldn't beat that. Ryan, it's been a great week of shows, and we got one more show tomorrow live here, closing out our weekend of shows. Thank you guys so much for checking us out and following the show. Give us a nice rating and review. We've been killing it here with all these draft guests, draft content. We will be announcing the winner of the draft props contest. We got some NFL win total stuff we're going to be getting to, NBA playoffs, so much going on. Give us a follow on Twitter at Gambling Podcast. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
In the words of Lamar Jackson, WTF, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.